All right, everybody, it's time to pull hard comps, okay? You have an interested buyer looking to make a purchase. Before you advise them on an offer, you need to confirm that the list price is accurate, or whatever you plan to offer this seller and listing agent is warranted, as long as your buyer cares about that, and they probably do, okay? So I'm going to make a video that I'm going to clip in here on the end of this one, but I want to talk to you generally speaking about comps and what you should be looking for, all right? When there's financing involved, the bank is going to send out an appraiser to confirm the value that, like the offer that you get accepted on this house, okay? So you need to make sure you're kind of planning ahead for that. You need to know the value. When you're looking to figure out the value on a house, you should be thinking like an appraiser, okay? So whenever I'm trying to value a home, all right, either for a buyer or a seller, I'm making sure that I pull comps within 1 mile. I'm trying to stay on the same side of major roads, like if a freeway. I want to stay on the same side of a freeway. Ideally, I'll look in the same subdivision as long as there's comps there. That would be even better than within a mile, but I can stretch out to a mile. Sometimes if you're watching this and you live in a rural area, that's a tough word for me, you can extend that out. I've sold houses in rural areas, where everybody has a ton of acreage and I have to expand, 2, 3, 4, 5 miles. But what I need to make sure stays in place is I'm absolutely looking at homes in the same city and same school district. At least by me, those are non-negotiable. Prioritizing school district, because school districts are a really big thing out here. They vary widely depending on what city you live in. Ideally same subdivision. If you need to stretch out further, that's okay. Just do your best to stay in the same city and school district. I prioritize school district over city personally, although the city taxes, may change their tax situation. So just make sure you're checking those things out. I'm looking for homes the same architectural style, okay? So I'm not going to compare ranches built in the 1970s to new construction colonials. I'm looking for similar architectural style, so I want to compare ranches to ranches, colonials to colonials. Same thing, I'm trying to get in the same range of size, okay? So on smaller homes, like say under 2,000 square feet, under 2,500 square feet, I'm really trying to get, comparable homes that are either within 250 square feet above and below. So I'm trying to get pretty close. Same thing on 1,000 square foot houses. Once we get down 1,000 square feet and below it, we got to be a little liberal because there's not a ton of those. Usually smaller houses like that, they'll be bunched up with other ones, so that's great. But I'm trying to get somewhat similar size. Again, same architectural style. If it has a basement, I want to try to compare to other homes that have basements. If it has a garage, I want to try to compare to other homes that have garages. But those are just general notes, things you should be really looking for when trying to compare comps. Again, in less densely populated areas, you can be a little more liberal on how far out you look, a little more liberal on size and style of home. What we're really trying to do here is try and get a firm value, based on at least a price per square foot basis, so that I can kind of generate an idea of what this home might be worth, okay? So if I can't find homes that are really close in square footage, bedrooms, bathrooms, I'm at least trying to find stuff in a really close cluster that is somewhat similar, and that'll usually kind of bunch up in terms of price per square foot. Maybe you'll see a range of price per square foot from 200 to 230, and that kind of gives you an idea of where you should be, okay? So those are really it. If you want to keep watching and see how I actually pull comps on a specific address, how I would go about doing that, then please continue watching. If not, then I'll see you in the next video. All right, everybody, let's pull comps together. Okay, so I've logged into my MLS. I'm going to go straight in the MLS. I'm going to pull comps based on a home from a builder that I really like. It's going to be 427 Edmond. I'm going to look at coming soon actives, contingents, accepting backup offers, pending and sold. This is telling me what's going on in the market right now. This is telling me what's already occurred in the market. This is the address of the home that I'm going to pull comps off of. I only want to compare to sales. I know 427 Edmond is a 4-bedroom, so I'm going to look for that. It has 2.5 bathrooms, so I'm going to look for that. It's in an area, Royal Oak, which I'm incredibly familiar with. I've done a ton of business there, so I know everybody has basements and garages. It's in the city of Royal Oak. It's in the Royal Oak School District. Let's start within a 1/4 mile. See if we need to narrow it down. All right, so we have 2 right here, which are way too small. We're not even going to compare to these. So we know 427 Edmond 3,100 square feet. A little bit of a bigger house. Let's make sure we're comparing residential to residential. I don't know if I said that in the initial video, but please don't compare homes to condos. A little bit of a bigger home. Let's do 300 square feet above and below. All right, so there's two really nice comps. Let's check them out. 427 Edmond, new construction. It's one of my favorite builders, especially in the Woodward corridor in Michigan. If you're a Southeast Michigan Metro Detroit agent and you're looking at an Alamoff house, please tell him I said, hey. I sold multiple of his houses, and I love them. They're great. He has a really nice quality home. So I already know what the interior of this house is going to look like. I sold the best comp here. Sold a great comp. Little smaller. So I'm intimately familiar with this particular home because I was the buyer's agent on it. This one sold through at $298 a square foot. Why I'm looking at that is because this one I sold is $2,850 in terms of square foot, and the one we're trying to comp right now is $3,100. Like, let's look at this last one. Okay, they're all 3.5 bathrooms too. I forgot the one I sold is 3.5. All right, so this is the exact same thing. 4 bedrooms, 3.5 bathrooms, also 3,100 square feet. Sold through at $1,050, $1,050,000, and he's got this one listed at $935. So if my buyer was interested in Edmond, I'd be pumped. I would feel very comfortable at $935 here because one's already sold at $1,050,000. So that's how I would pull comps on this. I'd be writing up that offer. So follow along for a future video, and I'll show you how I would actually write this exact offer.